When the first human punched a Keysian diplomat in the face, the galaxy should have seen it coming. The Galactic Council convened in the magnificent Hall of Celestium, its gleaming spires piercing the void. Delegates from countless star systems gathered, their forms ranging from gelatinous blobs to towering insectoids. The atmosphere buzzed with tension, a palpable unease settling over the assembly. At the center of this cosmic tableau stood General Fass, a battle-scarred veteran of the Kurth Empire. "We warned you," Fass began, his multifaceted eyes reflecting the assembled dignitaries. "We warned you about the humans." A murmur spread through the crowd, a mix of disbelief and skepticism. The humans, newcomers to the galactic stage, had been underestimated from the moment they emerged from their obscure spiral arm of the Milky Way. Despite warnings from those who had encountered them, the Council had dismissed the tales as exaggerations or mere propaganda. But now, the evidence was undeniable. The holographic display flickered to life, showcasing footage from the front lines. Human soldiers, clad in advanced exoskeletons, their weapons tearing through alien ranks with ruthless efficiency. It was a war unlike any the galaxy had seen before. 2 years earlier, the Council had welcomed humanity with cautious optimism. Earth's ambassadors spoke of peace, cooperation, and shared progress. Yet beneath their polite smiles and diplomatic overtures, there was a fierce determination, a drive that other species did not fully comprehend. The Keans, proud and arrogant, were the first to challenge humanity. Their ambassador, Zaluth, had not expected much resistance when he demanded that humans submit to Keysian rule. Instead, he received a broken nose and a declaration of war. The ensuing conflict escalated rapidly. Human ingenuity and adaptability quickly turned the tide against the technologically superior Keans. Utilizing guerrilla tactics and unconventional warfare, humans exploited every weakness in the Keysian defense. The Keysian homeworld, once thought impregnable, fell within months. Other species watched in stunned silence as the Keans, once a dominant force in the galaxy, were reduced to a vassal state. Yet many believed this was a fluke, an anomaly. Surely humans could not stand against the might of the Galactic Council's combined forces. General Fass' voice cut through the murmurs. "You laughed when we told you humans were dangerous. You mocked our warnings. Now look at the chaos they have unleashed." As he spoke, the display shifted to another scene, the Battle of Sol Prime. Human fleets, sleek and lethal, clashed with the armada of the Throne Consortium. Lasers and plasma bolts illuminated the void as ships exploded in brilliant bursts of light. The humans fought with a ferocity and coordination that belied their relatively recent entry into spacefaring warfare. Commander Alex Reynolds stood on the bridge of the UNS Vanguard, his eyes fixed on the tactical display. "They're breaking through our left flank," reported Lieutenant Carter, his voice tense. "Redirect fire from the forward batteries," Reynolds ordered, his tone calm and authoritative. "Deploy the drones to cover the gap." The Vanguard shuddered as it took a direct hit, but the human ship held firm. Drones swarmed out, overwhelming the enemy with sheer numbers and precision strikes. The throne ships faltered, then broke formation, retreating under the relentless assault. In the Galactic Council chamber, Fass paused, letting the gravity of the situation sink in. This is but one example. The humans do not fight for glory or conquest. They fight for survival, and they fight to win. They adapt, they innovate, and they do not know the meaning of surrender. The hologram shifted again, showing the aftermath of a ground battle on the moon of Zeta 9. Human Marines moved with disciplined efficiency, securing the area and tending to their wounded. Alien soldiers lay scattered, defeated by an enemy that had outmaneuvered them at every turn. Lieutenant Jackson, a grizzled veteran of countless battles, knelt beside a fallen comrade. "Hang in there, buddy," he muttered, applying a medkit. Around him, the Marines set up perimeter defenses, their eyes scanning the horizon for any sign of counterattack. As the scene played out, a voice rang through the council chamber, cutting through the silence. "Are we to surrender to these savages?" It was Jakar of the Zenithar Dominion, his voice dripping with contempt. Fass turned his gaze toward Jakar. "Surrender? No, but we must change our approach. Underestimate them and we face annihilation." The council was divided. Some argued for an alliance, others for total war. But one thing was clear. Humanity could not be ignored. They had proven themselves a force to be reckoned with, their resolve unshakable. Back on Earth, President Morgan addressed the United Nations. His image broadcast across the globe, and his words echoed through every human settlement in the galaxy. We did not choose this war, but we will fight it. For our homes, for our families, for our future. We will stand united, and we will prevail. As his speech ended, cheers erupted across the galaxy. Human forces prepared for the battles to come. Factories ramped up production. Scientists developed new technologies, and soldiers readied themselves for the next confrontation. In the depths of space, aboard the flagship of the Drasen Horde, Warlord Kron watched the human broadcasts with a mix of fascination and dread. He turned to his second-in-command, a massive brute named Tor. These humans, Kron mused, they are more than we anticipated. Tor grunted in agreement. They fight like demons, but they can be broken, Kron said, his eyes narrowing. Perhaps, but it will not be easy. We must learn from their tactics, adapt as they do. Only then can we hope to defeat them. As the flagship sailed through the void, Kron knew the coming war would test the very limits of his people. The humans had declared themselves a force to be reckoned with, and the galaxy would never be the same. The Council, now acutely aware of the threat, deliberated late into the night. The fate of the galaxy hung in the balance, and in the darkness of space, the drums of war began to beat louder than ever before. The council chamber buzzed with a cacophony of debates and arguments. The once grandiose assembly now appeared fractured, with alliances and rivalries starkly visible. General Thas had laid bare the threat, and the ramifications were sinking in. The Galactic Council, long accustomed to a certain balance of power, faced an unprecedented challenge. High Chancellor Voreth, a stoic figure of the cerulean race, called for order. His voice, deep and resonant, silenced the crowd. We must address the human threat with a unified strategy, he declared. Individual actions will only lead to further chaos. In a secluded corner of the chamber, Ambassador Rahl of the Velnor Federation conferred with his aides. The humans have proven formidable, Rahl whispered, his antenna twitching in thought. We must consider an alliance, however temporary, with other major powers across the galaxy. On the war-torn world of Arconas, the harsh landscape bore witness to a fierce battle. The planet, rich in resources, had become a focal point of conflict between human forces and the Drasen Horde. Dust storms swirled as energy blasts illuminated the twilight sky. Captain Marcus Hale led his platoon through the ravaged cityscape. Their objective was clear: secure the central reactor facility. Keep low and move fast, Hale commanded, his voice steady despite the chaos around them. His men, seasoned and determined, responded with swift precision. Sergeant Rodriguez, Hale's right-hand man, scanned the ruins with practiced eyes. Contacts at 12 o'clock, he shouted, just as a barrage of plasma fire erupted from the enemy's position. Return fire and advance by squads, Hale ordered. The human soldiers moved with coordinated efficiency. Their exoskeletons enhanced their speed and strength. They laid down suppressive fire, pushing the Drasen forces back, step by step. In the heart of the battlefield, Hale noticed a Drasen warlord, towering and menacing, rallying his troops. Recognizing the threat, he signaled to his sniper team. Take him out, Hale directed. Within moments, a precise shot ended the warlord's command, causing disarray among the Drasen ranks. Back in the Galactic Council, alliances were forming. The Velnor Federation reached out to the Throne Consortium and the Sith Dominion. Their representatives met in secret, away from the prying eyes of the full assembly. Ambassador Rahl spoke first. The human strength lies in their unity and adaptability. We must mirror these traits if we hope to prevail. Ambassador Yarrick of the Throne Consortium, a being of considerable political acumen, nodded. Agreed. But how do we coordinate our efforts without exposing our plans to the Council? Jakar of the Sith Dominion, known for his cunning, leaned forward. We form a shadow alliance, share intelligence and synchronize our military actions. The Council need not know the specifics. The clandestine alliance began to take shape. Their shared goal was clear: neutralize the human threat through combined and covert operations. On Earth, President Morgan convened with his top generals and advisors in the secure war room beneath the White House. The walls were lined with monitors displaying tactical data, fleet movements, and enemy positions. The situation was dire, but not without hope. General Thompson, a veteran strategist, outlined their next move. The Drasen Horde's fleet is massing near the Zeta-9 sector. We have a narrow window to strike their supply lines and weaken their forward positions. Morgan listened intently, his face set in determination. Do we have the resources for such an operation? Admiral Lee, commanding the Space Fleet, responded. We can mobilize the 3rd and 5th fleets. It will be a risk, but if successful, it could turn the tide in our favor. Morgan stood, his gaze sweeping over his assembled leaders. Then we take the risk. Humanity has always thrived under pressure. Let's remind the galaxy why we should never be underestimated. As preparations for the counteroffensive commenced, human forces across various fronts received their orders. The air buzzed with anticipation and the grim resolve of soldiers ready to face the unknown. Captain Hale, now a seasoned veteran of multiple campaigns, received his new directive: lead a strike team to disrupt the Drasen's primary supply depot on Zeta-9. His men, though weary, were ready for the challenge. The journey to Zeta-9 was fraught with danger. Their ship evaded enemy patrols and navigated treacherous asteroid fields. Upon arrival, Hale and his team deployed with surgical precision, infiltrating the depot under the cover of darkness. Stay sharp and move quietly, Hale whispered through the comms. The team advanced, neutralizing guards and planting charges at critical points. The operation went smoothly, until an unexpected patrol stumbled upon them. Contact! Engage! Hale shouted, as plasma bolts whizzed past. The team responded with lethal efficiency, but the element of surprise was lost. The base erupted in chaos as alarms blared and reinforcements arrived. Detonate the charges and fall back, Hale ordered. Explosions rocked the depot, flames and debris engulfing the structure. The team fought their way to the extraction point, evading pursuing Drasen forces. As their ship lifted off, Hale looked back at the burning depot. The mission was a success, but the war was far from over. The humans had struck a significant blow, but they knew the retaliation would be swift and brutal. In the heart of the Drasen capital, Warlord Kron fumed as reports of the attack reached him. His rage was palpable, his eyes burning with a desire for vengeance. These humans will pay for their insolence, he growled. Mobilize the fleet. We take the fight to them. As the Drasen horde prepared for a massive counteroffensive, the galaxy teetered on the brink of an even greater conflict. The clandestine alliance within the council watched closely as their plans advanced in the shadows. The stage was set for the next phase of the war. Humanity, undaunted and resolute, faced a galaxy united in opposition. The true test of their endurance and ingenuity was about to begin, and the outcome would reshape the destiny of countless worlds. As the Drasen fleet mobilized, the clandestine alliance within the Galactic Council finalized their plans. They intended to exploit the Drasen's assault to coordinate their own strikes against human strongholds. The goal was clear: overwhelm humanity with a multi-front war. On Earth, the mood was tense. President Morgan and his generals were well aware of the impending storm. We face a coordinated assault, General Thompson stated, his voice grim. We have limited time to prepare our defenses. Morgan nodded, steely determination in his eyes. We fight back on our terms. Mobilize all available forces. We will not fall. In the void of space, the Drasen fleet, led by Warlord Kron, surged toward Earth. They were a terrifying force, their ships bristling with weaponry and reinforced by the Alliance's covert support. The humans, however, were ready. Admiral Lee commanded the human defense fleet. Their ships formed a formidable blockade around Earth. All units prepare for engagement, Lee's voice echoed through the comms. The fleet moved into position, ready to defend their home at any cost. As the Drasen ships entered firing range, space erupted in a cataclysmic exchange of energy blasts and missiles. Human ships, outnumbered but not outmatched, fought with a ferocity that stunned the Drasen. Advanced targeting systems and coordinated maneuvers allowed them to punch through the enemy lines. Captain Marcus Hale and his strike team, having returned from their mission on Zeta-9, now found themselves on the front lines once again. Their mission: to infiltrate and disable the flagship of the Drasen fleet. Hale's team boarded a stealth shuttle, weaving through the chaos of the space battle. We get in, take out their command center, and get out, Hale briefed his men. They nodded, ready for the high-risk mission. As they breached the hull of the Drasen flagship, alarms blared. The team moved with lethal efficiency, cutting through Drasen soldiers with precision. They fought their way to the bridge, encountering fierce resistance. Warlord Kron stood at the center of the bridge, a towering figure radiating menace. "You humans are tenacious," he growled. But this ends here. Hale and his team engaged Kron in a brutal close-quarters battle. The warlord's strength was formidable, but the humans fought with unparalleled determination. Hale managed to land a critical blow, and with a final thrust, Kron fell, his eyes burning with defiance until the end. With Kron's fall, the Drassen fleet descended into chaos. Human forces seized the opportunity, pressing their advantage. The Drassen ships began to retreat, their command structure shattered. In the aftermath of the space battle, the clandestine alliance within the Galactic Council made their move. However, their plans were quickly unraveled by human intelligence operatives who had infiltrated their ranks. The betrayal was exposed, and the Council erupted in turmoil. Humanity's victory against the Drassen Horde and the exposure of the Alliance's duplicity marked a turning point in the war. The galaxy, once united against humanity, now faced its own divisions and infighting. President Morgan addressed the United Nations, his voice resonating with hope and determination. "We have faced the abyss and emerged stronger. Humanity will not falter. We will forge our destiny among the stars, united and unyielding." Across the galaxy, the ripple effects of humanity's triumph were felt. Some species saw them as a threat, others as potential allies. But one thing was clear: the age of human dominance had begun, and the galaxy would never be the same.